right, big show here. Really big show tomorrow as well. Love this first week back from training camp starting in a couple of weeks, but we were on hiatus. We're back and we're in the swing of things. And it is the year of Chicago. That's what I'm saying. The Bears killing it. The Bears will kill it. That's the kind of energy that I'm bringing into this conversation. And my next guest is an award-winning actor, a director, a writer. He plays Gary Sweeps Woods on the hit FX show The Bear, which you can see on Hulu. Is this the #1 streaming show right now, Corey Hendrix?
That's what they're saying. They're saying this is the #1 show right now. You know, we have the #1 slot.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
It's surreal. I don't think it'll really settle in until like maybe the #1 position is gone. But right now, while you're in it, it's like, really? Us? Okay.
Well, I want to say congratulations. It just won multiple Emmys, as we all saw. Yeah. This season has racked up over I can't even understand what that means. It's racked up over 1 billion streaming minutes last week, according to Variety. What do you think fans are connecting to so much this season?
I think this season, for season 3, everyone's kind of rushing back to see what the hoopla is about. Like, season 1 took off, everyone loved season 2. So people who, weren't already following the show, they're kind of tuning in now to see, like, what's the hype about. And then, of course, the fans are locked in to see is season 3 going to be as good as season 1 and season 2. And then everyone that's in the restaurant industry, they're still, like, following along because it's something that feels authentic to them. So it's like, it's just multiple tiers to, like, the fandom.
Did you know a lot about the restaurant industry before joining this cast? I know you've done a lot of different projects, but I feel like I'm watching and I love learning. I love learning about the behind the scenes and the teamwork that it takes. What have you learned about the restaurant industry and food service through this process?
I knew surface stuff because when I was in high school, my high school, when I started, it was a vocational high school. So we all had majors. I was a food service major.
Oh.
So I've kind of always known about like the surface things about the food service industry, but this show has just gave me so much more information, so much more detailed information about how a restaurant, runs, how you get it off the ground, just so much information. It's crazy.
So did you use that in your audition? I was a food service major in high school.
I didn't because, like, for the audition, I'm thinking about just going to audition for a role. I didn't know so much about the show. I didn't know so much about it. And then it was like, I think I may have known it was about, like, an Italian beef restaurant in River North. It wasn't so like, like gastronomy. It was just like a little small thing. So I'm like, okay, a Chicago restaurant, Italian beef, like that's us. That's what we do. We make Italian beefs. Okay, cool.
Where do you go get your Italian beef in Chicago?
Honestly, I step out right outside of the city. I go to Cicero. It's a place called Scatchels.
What's it called?
It's near Scatchels. It's near Cicero and Cermak.
Okay,
right,
Scatchels.
Right near that intersection.
Wow,
Scatchels,
shout out Scatchels. That's gonna be a good bite there. There was this place that I grew up in Chicago. There was this place on the northwest side called Jay's, and they had 2 locations, and I loved it. And like I will always go and get an Italian beef from Jay's, and then of course Al's is famous, so we know all of that.
Al's definitely.
Yeah, but Al's is like too popular, right? Like.
Yeah, it's like a famous spot now. Yeah.
Is there anything about the fan reaction to this season that's surprising you?
I feel like the reactions this season has been all over the place. People feel like this season is really artsy. So they're like, it's like so much more artsier than the past seasons. I think people are really shocked that a lot of the silly banter between the Fat brothers is like a lot of comedy there. So people really weren't expecting so much of that. So I think it's just like, it's a shocking season. It's a little different than what people expected from the previous 2.
I love it. Yeah. I love that. I feel like Chicago is a character in the show, like a main character, which I love. And you were born and raised on the West Side. And you've been involved in quite a few productions in Chicago. But you said that this show feels like Chicago. What do you mean by that?
It does. A lot of, sometimes shows, they come here and they'll film downtown. They'll film in the Loop. But with this, it's just, you can tell the creator of the show is a Chicago guy, and he spent time here. It's just, you can see it with the shots of the train, or people walking outside, or getting the restaurants involved, like the Chicago restaurants, things like that, or just like the silly stuff that would happen in season 1 outside of, say, the restaurant. It's like, it's very Chicago stuff that would happen. And so I think that's the difference, the scenes at the lake in the morning, like just opening up like the city to the world.
It is artsy and it's really authentic, and I love to see that that's playing an even bigger role in season 3. Now let's get into Chicago a little bit. Where'd you go to high school?
Westinghouse.
Westinghouse. Okay, got it. I went to Whitney Young.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
Loved that. Love Chicago. Haven't lived there in a long time, but obviously, like, it's where I'm from. But let's get into the sports scene a little bit. You grew up playing basketball, I know. So I have to ask you, how do you feel about the post-DeMar DeRozan era of the Bulls?
I hate that he's leaving. Like, he was so great for us, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter. So to see him leave, it's like, man, we couldn't put anything else together, any other pieces around him or with him, and make something happen. So I hate to see it.
Yeah,
I really do.
Traded to the Kings. Don't love that. He led the team in points last year. I don't know what are they going to do? What's up with Chicago sports?
Yeah, it's crazy with that. So I don't know. I'm still root for him, but yeah, it's not looking too good for us.
I feel like now you can just put all your energy, my friend, into the Bears.
Well, yeah, that's it's going to take all of the energy because the way the Bears do it, it's going to take all of the energy. Like it's like Lord.
What are you saying? Wait. From the Bear to the Bears. We got number one pick, Caleb Williams. He's showing up at Cubs games. He's at Sky games. He seems to be all over the city. How are you feeling about your Chicago Bears?
It's a fresh start, so I feel good about that. It's a fresh start. I feel good about that. We got Caleb, the fresh blood. But again, this is how we felt about 2 or 3 years ago, with good old Justin. So it's like we're back in the same space. So I'm rooting for him though. I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well. We just can't we can't put too much on his shoulders and just expect him to come out this first season and just everything be completely different for us in the first season or two. You got to give people a chance.
The Bear happened and it was a hit season 1.
Yeah, but you can't plan miracles. They happen. You can't plan miracles, and that's the thing. I tell people when I auditioned for the Bear. And then once I saw the cast and we were on set, I saw we had a good team. The way we were filming, I thought it was good. Jeremy's leading the ship. He's amazing. He already has a big locked-in following because of Shameless and stuff like that. So I knew people would like it. I thought we would have a cult-like following. I had no idea the show would take off the way it did and the whole world would go crazy. And it's the way it is now. So it's really a miracle to me.
When did you realize that it was going to be what it is?
So I think when we got renewed for a second season, that happened kind of soon. So okay, people like it. It's a good thing. And then when the nominations started coming out, I was like, oh, because it's so much TV nowadays. It's a lot of TV, a lot of shows, but everyone doesn't get nominated. That doesn't happen. Whether you win, that's one thing, but even be recognized on that level. So I was like, wow, I'm on a show that's getting this many nominations. That was crazy. And then once we started winning stuff, and then once season 2 came out, and it was just crazy. I was like, oh, okay, we have something here. This is crazy.
Well, then explain the magic. We're trying to figure out, I work in the NFL, and I look at these teams, and I'm like, they've got it. They get hot at the end. They'll make, what is it about? And you've worked on so many projects, especially in Chicago, the Chi, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. What is it about the Bear and the team that sets it apart?
Well, yeah, so cinema is definitely, It's team art, It's not just one person, it's not just one thing, but it really starts with Christopher Storer, the creator of the show. Chris, and I don't want to use this word too lightly, but Chris is a genius. When we're on set sometimes and we can be shooting things and it comes out a certain way, and I'll go to him when you were writing this, did you see it that way? And he's like, yeah, that's how I saw it. So I think him putting the actors together, the entire team, the cinematographer, the other producers, John and Carlo, he putting the entire team together, knowing who can facilitate what, and it works. When we're on set, we move fast. It's very efficient. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone's professional. Everyone's confident. Everyone supports one another. And I think that's what it is. I think Chris put together the right team. He knew who can do what, how they can do it, and it's and we just execute when we're there.
Yeah, there are a lot of comparisons to what an NFL team is trying to accomplish. We'll see what the Bears can do. I had Matt Forte come on my show a couple weeks ago and say that they're going to sweep the Packers this year.
I'm with him.
Okay.
I'm with him. It's going to happen. I'm with him. I'm always down for sweeping the Packers.
How game to be. Okay, we're going to wrap this up with a little bit of a game. It's called Non-negotiables. Of course, a huge theme in season 3 of The Bear. I'm going to say a statement. You tell me if it's a non-negotiable. So if you agree with it, it's non-negotiable. It's Chicago style. Michael Jordan will always be the one and only GOAT. Is that non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable, yeah.
No LeBron.
Michael Jordan, non-negotiable.
No Chicagoan cares about the bean. Is that non-negotiable?
That That's not non-negotiable. Like, we care about the bean. It's just not a big deal to us. That's that's not non-negotiable.
But we own it. The Bears will make the playoffs. Is that a non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable. We will make the playoffs, definitely.
Whitney Young High School is the best high school in Chicago. Is that a non-negotiable?
That's not a non-negotiable at all. That's not.
Shout out to your high school. Jay Cutler is the best quarterback in Bears history. Is that a non-negotiable?
No, not really.
It's true, I feel like. I feel like there's not a better one. Okay, laying out on the concrete at the beach that is Lake Michigan, is that okay? Is that normal? Is that a non-negotiable?
Laying out on the concrete?
At the beach.
Near the beach?
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable because, I mean, people do it all the time.
All the time.
You have to step over them, step around them. Yeah, that's a non-negotiable.
No ketchup on hot dogs, non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable, non-negotiable.
Chicago stuffed pizza, the best of all kinds of pizzas.
No. I like thin tavern-style pizza.
Me too. I'm with you. Okay, that is it for us. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
And just repping Chicago the way that you do, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Thanks, Kay.
Appreciate it. Nice to see you. And go
Later.
Bears. He's with it. Let's sweep those Packers and get it done. Corey Hendrix from the Bear, and we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.